the lake that turns animals into stone. Imagine flying across one of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth, only to fall from the sky and become something that looks like stone. A bird lands near the water. Moments later, silence. Its body hardens. Its feathers stiffen. Its eyes remain frozen forever. No predator attacks. No visible wound appears. No scream echoes across the land. Only stillness. A terrible stillness. Welcome to one of the strangest places on our planet, a lake so mysterious, so visually haunting, that people once believed it could turn living creatures into stone. This is the terrifying and fascinating story of Lake Natron. A place where beauty and death exist side by side. A landscape that looks almost alien. And a lake that scientists say should not even support life, yet somehow does. But here is the real question: is Lake Natron truly deadly? Or have we misunderstood its dark reputation? To understand this mystery, we must travel to East Africa, near the border of Kenya and Tanzania, into one of the harshest and most unforgiving environments on Earth. Hidden inside the Great Rift Valley lies a place that feels almost unreal. The air is dry. The temperatures can become brutally hot. The Earth itself appears cracked and wounded. And in the middle of this hostile environment rests an eerie body of water, glowing in shades of red, orange, and pink. Lake Natron. At first glance, it looks strangely beautiful. Almost magical. Like something painted by nature itself. But beneath that beauty lies danger. Extreme danger. The lake is named after a naturally occurring compound called natron, a mixture of minerals including sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. These substances make the lake incredibly alkaline. In simple words, the water is dangerously caustic. So powerful that its alkalinity can sometimes reach levels close to ammonia. Imagine touching water that feels less like a normal lake, and more like liquid chemicals. Temperatures can climb as high as 60 degrees Celsius. That is around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to feel hostile. Hot enough to push survival to the limit. And then there is the color. The haunting red. The strange crimson glow. Where does it come from? Not blood. Not pollution. But tiny microorganisms. Salt-loving microbes and algae thrive in these harsh conditions, creating deep red colors that make the lake resemble something from another world. Yet this beauty hides a terrifying reputation. A reputation born from shocking photographs. Photographs that stunned the world. Images showing birds, bats, and small animals appearing as though they had been transformed into stone statues. Frozen forever. Motionless. Silent. Like victims trapped inside time itself. When photographer Nick Brandt discovered some of these preserved animals near the lake, the images spread quickly across the world. People were horrified. Headlines exploded. The lake that turns animals into stone. The cursed lake. The deadly waters of Africa. But was this really true? Could water truly petrify animals? Or was something else happening here? The truth is stranger than fiction. Lake Natron does not magically transform living animals into stone. At least, not instantly. Scientists believe animals sometimes crash into the reflective surface of the lake. Because the water can appear mirror-like, birds may become confused, disoriented, unable to judge distance. And after death, something unusual begins to happen. The lake's mineral-rich chemistry preserves bodies. The high salt and alkaline conditions slow decomposition. Mineral deposits begin covering remains. Over time, animals can appear calcified, stone-like, almost sculpted, almost unreal. It is horrifying, yet strangely beautiful. Like nature creating accidental statues. A tragic museum shaped by chemistry. Still, if this lake is so deadly, why does life continue to gather here? Why would animals return? That answer reveals something even more astonishing. Because Lake Natron is not simply a place of death. It is also a place of life. An extraordinary sanctuary hidden inside danger. Across the glowing waters, millions of pink wings begin to move. Flamingos. Not hundreds. Not thousands. Sometimes millions. One of the largest breeding grounds for lesser flamingos on Earth exists here. That answer changes everything. The very lake feared by many species somehow protects another. Its extreme chemistry keeps predators away. Few creatures dare enter. That means flamingos can nest with surprising safety. The same hostile conditions that destroy some life, protect other life. Nature once again refuses to follow simple rules. And this raises another mystery. How can flamingos survive where many animals cannot? What secret allows them to live in a lake that seems impossible? That answer changes everything. The secret of survival. How can flamingos survive in a place that seems designed to destroy life? A lake so hot, so salty, so chemically extreme, that many animals cannot endure even brief contact. The answer lies in one of nature's most extraordinary survival systems. Lesser flamingos are not ordinary birds. Over millions of years, evolution shaped them for a world few creatures could tolerate. Their skin is unusually tough. Their legs are protected by scales that help reduce damage from the alkaline water. And somehow, they thrive where danger should dominate. But their greatest secret is food. Lake Natron may look lifeless at first glance, yet beneath its glowing surface lives something essential. Tiny organisms. Microscopic algae. Salt-loving microbes invisible to the naked eye. For flamingos, this strange lake becomes an endless buffet. The birds filter algae from the water using specially adapted beaks, feeding in a way that turns harsh chemistry into survival. And that iconic pink color. It does not come naturally. Flamingos are actually born gray or white. Their bright pink feathers develop over time from pigments found inside the algae they eat. In other words, the lake itself paints the birds. A place feared for death also creates extraordinary beauty. Nature can be terrifying, but it can also be breathtaking. Every year, huge numbers of lesser flamingos return here to breed. For them, Lake Natron becomes a nursery. A protected kingdom surrounded by invisible danger. Predators struggle to survive near the harsh alkaline conditions. The environment acts like a natural fortress. In a strange twist of fate, the same waters feared by outsiders become protection for newborn life. Yet despite this fragile balance, danger still remains. Because Lake Natron is unpredictable. Water levels rise and fall. Temperatures shift. Volcanic activity shapes the land around it. Nearby stands a mountain unlike almost any other on Earth. Ol Doinyo Lengai. Known by local people as the Mountain of God. An active volcano. A place where fire and ash continue shaping the landscape. Its eruptions feed minerals into the surrounding environment, influencing the chemistry of Lake Natron itself. Here, volcanoes, heat, salt, and survival become part of one connected story. Everything depends on balance. Too much change, and the ecosystem suffers. Too much disturbance, and millions of flamingos could lose one of the most important breeding sites on Earth. Scientists and conservationists have spent years studying the lake. Because despite its frightening reputation, Lake Natron matters. Not just to Tanzania. Not just to Africa. But to the planet. Sometimes the most hostile environments become the most important. And sometimes the places we fear most are also the places we understand least. Still, the haunting mystery remains. Those frozen animals. Those silent, statue-like forms resting near the shoreline. Photographs that continue unsettling people around the world. Even after science explains much of it, something about Lake Natron still feels eerie. Almost supernatural. Perhaps it is the silence. Perhaps it is the color. Or perhaps it is the strange truth hidden beneath everything. Lake Natron is not evil. It is not cursed. And it does not hunt. It simply exists. Wild. Extreme. Beautiful. Unforgiving. A reminder that nature does not bend to human comfort. It does not care about fear or imagination. It follows its own ancient rules. And if we misunderstand those rules, even beauty can become dangerous. So the next time you hear about the lake that turns animals into stone, ask yourself this question. Are we looking at a monster? Or are we looking at one of Earth's most misunderstood wonders? Because sometimes, the scariest places on Earth are not hiding monsters. They are hiding truth. And truth can be far stranger than fiction. If you enjoyed uncovering mysteries hidden beyond the ordinary, subscribe to Ayatullah Beyond, because the world still holds secrets waiting to be discovered.